I have a mortgage. And when I purchased my home, I really had the chance to just buy the house outright. But this was the caveat that kept me from buying it outright. Is your home, it's an asset, but it's almost like a stock. Depending on your neighborhood can take the home that you purchase and make it, go up in value, or the neighborhood in itself can take it and you can end up losing on your home, meaning that what you pay for your home is no longer worth
But let me
that.
ask you this. A lot of people who buy a home, that's supposed to be your dream house, right? And if not, let me ask you this question. If it's not my dream house and somewhere where I'm not going to be for a substantial amount of time, why wouldn't I just rent it?
So this is why. Because number one, a mortgage is less than what you would pay in rent. So usually what you paying in rent, like I know people that got an apartment that's nice, probably about 800, 900, 1,000 square feet, and they paying about $1 per square foot, so about $1,100. I have a mortgage. My house is 3,000 square feet. I pay $1,800.
$1,800 plus maintenance.
Not plus maintenance, because just like with the apartment, so the apartment you do pay, I'm quite sure maintenance is in your rent.
Yeah.
But at home, they do have things called like home shield, right? So it's kind of like your insurance. So you pay $70 a month for your home shield. So if your pipes go out or if your refrigerator break down or your washer and dryer go out, you just pay your deductible. They come out and they fix it.
And you pay the deductible every time?
Every time something happens.
And like cutting your yard too, is that included?
I cut my own yard.
And you cut so you spend your time cutting your own yard.
Yeah, and sometimes we had a lawn service. But even if I add all of that up, when we had the lawn service plus the home shield, it still didn't compare to the rent. And then on top of that, like for now, like I'm contemplating moving to Houston. My house is up right now. I want to say I paid like $280,000 for it. Right now, my house is being listed at $420,000. The house that was similar to mine in my neighborhood was smaller, sold at $420,000 in 3 days after being on the market 3 days. So me on having a mortgage, knowing that, like you said, why would I get in something if I know it wasn't my dream home? It wasn't my dream home. This was a pit stop. It was an investment. It was putting my money into Dogecoin and waiting for the proper time to cash out. And so we seen the housing market where everybody moving to Texas from California. This is my time to cash out because my value of my property went out. So my $180,000 that I owe left on my home, that go to the bank. The remainder out of that $400,000 come to me.
And how long did that take?
4 years.
4 years?
I've been there 5 years.
But with this situation, in a mortgage, if you're living in the home, it's not an asset. If you're living in the home. If you're getting a mortgage and you know that's an investment that you're not going to be living in, then yes, there will be an asset. But if it's your dream house that you're paying a mortgage on and you plan on being there for 30 years, this is your family house, I don't think that's an asset.
Got you.
Well, it's not an asset.
I can see where you're coming from because, you're living in it. You're paying way more than what the house will be after everything is paid off, and you don't plan on selling it. So you're right. I can get that point.
Yeah, and what I've seen is when you're renting, it may be a little more, but oftentimes the houses that I find that's for rent are bigger and have more space. So a home that may be, smaller, whatever the case may be, yeah, I may be paying a little bit more, but if I was mortgaging the same type of home that I have right now, what I will be paying over a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage would be a whole lot of money.
My question is this. Your landlord, does he still have a mortgage on the home? Because what's happening is you're paying for his mortgage and his profit.
Yeah, because that's an investment home.
But what I'm saying is technically that's why you're paying more, because you're still paying his mortgage and giving him a profit on top of it. So if his mortgage for that house is $1,000 and he charging you $2,000, you paying for his mortgage and you putting an extra $1,000 in his pocket. That's why it becomes more expensive renting.
Absolutely.
But it's
That's with any product and service.
For sure.
Yeah, but what we don't calculate in there is whatever his insurance is, whatever his taxes is, whatever's breaking inside of it, and the cost that has to be paid, because we know somebody who has 10 properties. And some people will congratulate that, man, I got 10 properties. But even when that person is not living in there, now you got to calculate paying that mortgage by yourself while somebody is not in that property.
That's true.
Things of that nature. So it's a lot of other costs, hidden costs, that people don't think about. But I'm not against real estate in the sense of if you're buying a property and somebody else is in it, that is an asset.
Gotcha.
What we're against is people buying a home, believing that the home that you're living is an asset when it's not. It's a liability. There's no money, there's no cash flow that's coming in when you're actually actively living in that property.
Got you. Okay.
And oftentimes it's not always the case where it's 4 years and something may go up $200,000, $300,000. Oftentimes it may take several years for you to get that type of value, and you got to realize there's always an upgrading cost of living.
Right.
And these homes that take 5, 10 years, or whatever the case may be, for the property value to go up, something that's even worth it, you have to pay to keep the home at that standard. So you got to make sure everything is renewed, everything is updated, and that's money that has to be cost or accounted for as expenses as well to keep the upkeep of the home. So it's not just about buying a home and I got this mug for $100,000. 10 years later, man, it's worth $500,000. Yeah, but how much money did you have to put into it? How much, you know what I mean? So all that's into account as well.